Yeah, 2 years back.
Okay, you swap already? Okay. All right, everyone. Okay. Is everybody about done? Yeah. Did you swap already?
Yes.
Okay, good. And what were your thoughts on the exercise? Did you grade yourself on your acceptance criteria? What were your acceptance criteria?
So the one that I know I have a weakness on is the eye contact.
Okay.
And the second one is, which I also know it's a problem, is like I listen to the intent to reply. I understand.
Okay.
And the third one is I anticipated that a lot of us going to be talking at the same time, so not to be distracted with the background noise.
Good ones. Okay. Anybody else want to share some different criteria that they used?
For me, actively respond the talker if not. So because I'm not keeping a straight face, like no emotion or what. And then ask at the end of the ask a question. Always ask a question.
Okay.
So this seems like you're interested to what they say.
Right. Okay. Anybody else want to add their criteria that were a little bit different? Anybody have any different ones?
I try to avoid immediate solution.
Yeah, a lot of us do that, right? We're always thinking about how to respond before we even finish listening. Yeah. Anybody else?
We have something common right here between me and him. So what we had was actually about posture of receiving information. So imagine if you are sitting like this to receive a message, and sitting like this to receive a message, it gives totally different meaning.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Right. So yeah. So when you step forward or look forward, either when you're talking, like when you're in public doing a public talk, if you step forward, what do people think? You're talking about something important, right? And the same thing is when you're listening. When you lean forward, it's like they think, oh, geez, this is important stuff, right? You don't want to like this. That's a good one. Yeah. Anybody else?
I kind of find it awkward if I try to have the eye contact too long. But I'm not sure, like, typically how long should I be looking at the eye?
I mean, you should be like this.
Because in the conversation,
It should be natural, right?
If I end up 30 minutes or 1 hour or more, I can't just like look at the eye. And sometimes when her eye is moving, I kind of switch my focus a bit. Just I kind of look at the eyeball moving that side, look at this side.
Yeah.
So it kind of distract me.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, that's good. Anybody else? That's good. And how did you feel, the speaker? How did you feel when the person was listening to you intently? Anybody have any thoughts on that?
It's kind of intense.
Intense? Okay.
Yeah. Like a pressure to speak something very interesting. Because getting like the full attention of a person. Like,
Okay, that's one feeling. Yeah. All right.
Expression.
Okay.
Sometimes, this person might be showing some different expression, then you might be thinking, oh, I see something wrong.
Oh, okay. Anybody else have any thoughts on being the speaker? What are you thinking about? What are you feeling when somebody is listening to you? Who has children here? Does anybody have children here? Now, they all want to be listened to, right? So what do you think is going through their mind when they're trying to get your attention, and then you listen to them, they're telling you their problem, they want to do this, or I want this, or whatever, and you're listening to them intently, what do you think that they're feeling? They're feeling like you care about them. They're feeling appreciated, that, oh geez, I'm important. Yeah, so it's important, think of it, talking to your kids and being a listener, you want to make the other person feel important, that they're cared about, that what they have to say is worth something, right? So think about it like that when you're listening to people. Let's see here. So, okay. So next, did you guys, I want to go over the questioning thing too. So anybody remember what I talked about yesterday in terms of open questions, closed questions, things like that? How to close off, actually you can use a closing question, a closed-ended question, but it has to be done in the right way. So remember I said yesterday, I said you can close off with a closed-end question after summarizing and paraphrasing, right? So what would be examples of that? Does anybody remember my talk yesterday? No? It's okay. It's all right. Do you remember something? Okay. Okay, so let's practice that. So what we would do is we would say, first of all, you have open-ended questions, so how and why, right? So that's the first step. We want you to practice open-ended questions. So, so why did you take that job? What was really intriguing about the job? Did you think it was a big career move forward? Why did you think that, right? So you first ask an open-ended question, right? And then the person responds, right? So, and then what happens? Then we want you to paraphrase, right? So, well, I took that job because it was really, really close to work, close to my home, and also I thought that it was more money, and also I thought it was a big career progression for me. And so, how would you paraphrase that? You say, well, it sounds like a great move for you. You got all the things that you wanted, right? And then how would you close that? Is that right? So that's how you would paraphrase, and then you say, is that right? Something like that, right? Okay? So let's try to practice that. So one person, swap roles again. You ask an open-ended question. Next person summarizes and says, did I get that right? So you're going to be practicing this at work too, right? This is stuff that you can use either at home, with your kids, or whatever, at work too, especially like when somebody's explaining a feature. You say, what you're saying is that first the user does this, and then they do this, and then they're going to go to the reports. Is that what you mean? Okay? All right, let's practice one more time. Everybody's going to have to go. So, whether you go now or you go later, it's up to you. And this is going to be our first recording. So I'm going to record you because I want you to see yourself swim. You can't improve if you can't see yourself. I'm telling you, it really makes a difference. It really makes a difference. So I'm going to record you. And it's only for your eyes only. It's a private thing. Right? So don't be scared. Yeah, this is your chance. You get to go. Right? Okay. Everybody clap.
Alright, so when I was young, I was introduced to reading at a pretty early age, and I think the first book that I was introduced to was actually The Lord of the Rings. It was a really complicated book for a small kid, but what happened is it led me to a lifetime of being a full-time nerd and participating in all kinds of nerdy stuff, D&D and all kinds of nerdy games and stuff, so much so that when I became an adult, it was meaningful enough to me that I got most of my tattoos related to Lord of the Rings, the map and a whole bunch of weapons and stuff. So yeah, that's my story about how I got my tattoos, I guess. Yeah, so thank you.
Okay, one note. So when you get to a minute, I'm going to raise my hand. That's signal to you to kind of wrap up. Okay, so who gets to go next? Come on, this is your opportunity.
Maybe they. Right, hello. It is not a very good feeling standing up here, honestly speaking. Well, I believe it's gonna be the same for later. Any of you guys who can stand here. Stepping down from this stage probably is gonna be something gonna be comforting to me. But I believe it is good to take this opportunity standing up here, try to talk to you guys. I don't think I have much point to go through today, honestly speaking, because it is a practice session. It is something speaking out of heart. I think that helps a lot to communicate. So once I step down, what I'm gonna do is that I will try to view on the recording later, definitely. And I hope if you guys have any feedbacks, feel free to tell me. Right? Thank you.
All right. Who gets to go next?
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out. This could be my right. Sorry, I didn't notice like how I should have put my hand in. Now I just kind of realized maybe this is the right stand. Yeah, I kind of bring a topic called health. Recently I've been very taking care of my health. I've been trying to learn how I can be more healthy. I get influenced by a US entrepreneur called Brian Johnson. He says like, how can we live until 150 years old? I think it's fascinating, to be able to live that long, to be able to experience a lot of things you can experience throughout many of the years. So I kind of want to learn from him, how can I be more healthier? Because I want to kind of experience more things when I grow older. So I've been eating very healthy. I used to be very fat. Yeah, so now you see I'm slim, right? So, thank you.
Okay, does anybody have feedback for the first three talks? Do they have any thoughts, feedback? We're working together here. We're helping each other, right? This is just practice. We're learning together. So does anybody have feedback for the first three talks?
For Sanjeev, I like his speech, but I think it would have been better if the introduction was done before. Like, he was about to talk about how he got his tattoos.
How we got what?
How he got his tattoos. His
Tattoos.
inspiration.
Okay.
So
All
the
right.
background.
Anybody else have any feedback? Okay, so you were probably the most comfortable, I think. You guys were a little bit nervous, right? So something to focus on is being relaxed and grounded, right? Silence is okay, just like I said. And introducing the talk. So you brought up one of the next subjects, really, introducing a talk. So one way to introduce a talk is you can just be very straightforward and say, today my talk is about whatever, about the tattoos that I got and kind of the reasoning behind it. Or two other ways to introduce a talk would be to, with a gesture. Does anybody here have tattoos? Well, I'd like to tell you about my tattoos and how I got them and what the story behind it. That's another way to start a talk. A third way to start a talk is stating a fact. Did you know that 5,234,000 people have tattoos? Okay, so let's keep going. Who gets to go next? So focus on all these things we're practicing, right? Eye contact, using gestures, doing the beginning of a talk, okay? All right, let's go. Who gets to go next?
1 minute is very short, but I'll try my best. So there is this book which I planned to read for so long, but I haven't finished it. It's called How to Talk, How to Listen to Your Kids so they will talk, and How to Talk so that your kids will listen. So the first topic which I read is nice because you can apply it to your peers, your friends as well. How to deal when your kids is having a tantrum. So firstly, you acknowledge their feeling, don't brush it off. Secondly, you listen to their problem, whatever they complain. Number 3 is my favorite, is you give their feeling a name. You look sad, you look frustrated. So when they have a name for it, they feel better. So that's what I like about that point. Number 3 is you acknowledge their feeling without giving in. So it's like, I understand you are sad, I see you are sad. You don't say but you don't give in to whatever they are crying for. Like they want this toy, they want this candy. But if you do all the steps before, highly likely the tantrum will subside. So I hope I hope it's something that you can apply to kids or maybe colleagues who throws tantrum. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Who gets to go next? I'll let you know.
Silence. Good morning. I was looking at my watch and I can see that it's afternoon morning, so that I keep track on the morning and afternoon. So today, I'm not going to talk about any topic. I believe some of your colleagues will be talking about this. But today, let's do a bit of warm up. So I know most of us are nervous. Same goes to me. So what I want you all to do is close your eyes. Okay. Before closing your eyes, just take your hands on your lap, right? Just do like how I do. Okay. Have this middle fingers and the first thumb together. Okay. And then close your eyes. Alright. Listen to me. Try to breathe in. Exhale. Slowly. Breathe in. And exhale. Inhale, which means breathing. And exhale. You breathe out. Now you can open your eyes. How do you feel? Still doing this. Thank you.